Hi, my name is Leia and I've read a lot of self-help books in 2024. Not every self-help book is built the same. Some leave a really great impact on your life and others you forget about them as soon as you finish them, or some you don't even finish at all. In this video, I want to talk about the 4 books of 2024 that left the biggest impact on my life, which is very specific because I've read a lot of good self-help books that just didn't have a big impact on my life because I was already knowledgeable in the topic they were talking about, or it just didn't do much for me. That being said, I think my biggest journey in 2024 was doing more of what I wanted to do. And I think these 4 books have helped me with that. So I feel if you're struggling with that as well, doing more of what you want to do and less of what you don't want to do, maybe these 4 books can help you in some way as well. Starting with the first book, The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. This book, I am not exaggerating, this book is about self-sabotage and basically every excuse you can think of about why you're self-sabotaging yourself or any reason why you're self-sabotaging yourself, she will tackle it in this book. This is also the self-help book I reread the most. Like, I do not reread a lot of books. Once I've read it, and I've written down my highlights, or I've highlighted the things I want to remember, I do not go back to a book. Every bullshit excuse you can think about why you're not doing things you want to do or how you're self-sabotaging yourself, there is a chapter written about it in this book. The writing feels poetical, but also very practical. And I keep looking for a hardcover version of this, which I'm a hardcore Kindle girl. Like, I don't read anything in paper form. I read everything on my Kindle and my Kobo. I have both versions because I like reading from an ebook. But this book, I want to be able to like put it on my desk, and whenever I feel like a certain doubt or a certain way of self-sabotaging comes back to me, I want to be able to open it, look at the chapter and reread the advice she gives me because it is that good. Referencing it on my Kindle sucks, but I still do it because I almost need her advice sometimes. I've also started the Pivot Year by Brianna Wiest, but I keep reading once a day is just not something that I keep up with. But like, her writing style is very like almost ethereal or something, but it's still practical advice, but she writes very, very poetically about it. And I really enjoy that. I think her advice is very spot on. And if you're struggling with like wanting to do something, but you keep having the excuses in your head, give this book a try because she really tackles self-sabotage. And like the title, The Mountain Is You, like you are your biggest struggle. And she has a way of like making you realize that and then giving you the tools about how to deal with that. So yeah, I really recommend this book. The next book is more of a practical approach about once you realize you're self-sabotaging and you know why you're doing it, and then how are you gonna stick to the habits that you're forming. And no surprise here, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Like, I don't know if I should really get into this book because I think every YouTuber that reviews self-help books has talked about this book because it is that good. Like, if you're struggling with sticking to your habits or sticking to your plan, this book works and it has the tools that you need. And I feel like if you haven't read it yet, you're really doing yourself a disfavor. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. It sounds so easy, but I really needed the book to like fully grasp the concept of sticking to my habits. And yeah, the book really helped with like the practical execution of my habits. And I mean, I am 4 videos in and we're still here, so it kind of works. Then the next book that really had a big impact on me was Loud by Drew Afuelo. Loud isn't a self-help book in the traditional sense, as in that like with Atomic Habits, it tackles the topic of habits and then tells you on how to deal with that or how to improve that. But more so if Drew sat down with you and had like a really good heart-to-heart. It's partially memoir, it's partially inspirational, and mostly it's just like a giant inspiration to live your life authentically and boldly and without fear. I really love Drew. I think I follow her on TikTok. I think she is so inspirational in how she lives her life and how funny she is and how much wisdom she has and how she looks to the world is like, I wish I had more of that. So I love reading this book, and it really inspired me to live more authentic and just do what I want and not fear the opinions of others. So it's like finishing that book just left me inspired and wanting to do more of that. So yeah, maybe it's not a traditional self-help book, but it definitely helped my life a lot. The last book I want to talk about is The Power of Fun by Catherine Pierce. I finished this book recently, and it was the direct catalyst to me starting YouTube, which is why I wanted to include it in this video. The Power of Fun is a book dedicated to explaining why you should add more fun to your life, why and how you should add more fun to your life. I hadn't realized I had also read her book about quitting your phone until I started reading this book, and she mentions that in the book. And yeah, a big part of the book is talking about false fun, like scrolling through your Instagram, thinking that you're having fun because you're getting the dopamine shot, but actually it's not the true fun. This book had a lot of information that I already knew, but there's something about having it all laid out for you and someone taking your hand and walking you through the steps of like how to prioritize more fun, and also kind of giving you the permission to have more fun in your life and telling you that, yeah, it's okay, and why you should do it and what the benefits are, even though it shouldn't be necessary, but it really helped me a lot. This book was, like I said, the final push for me to start YouTube. So that's why I included it here. I finished it like 2 weeks ago. So maybe it won't be as memorable in the long term, but it will be memorable for the fact that it was the final push that I needed to start my YouTube channel. These 4 books, starting with like the excuses, the self-sabotage, into like the practical implications of like how do you do habits that you want to do, with the inspiration to live your life authentically, into like actually getting permission to put more fun into your life, helped me to reorganize my life in a way that, yeah, I really enjoy, and pushed me to do more things that are out of my comfort zone, but are important and make life valuable living. So I hope that if you're struggling with any of these topics that I've mentioned, or if you're on the same path and maybe you want to read these books in the same order, let me know what you think, or let me know if these books helped you in any way. Yeah, I hope this was helpful to you somehow, and please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.